Hi there, it's Rebecca. I want to talk about fear again. Getting rid of fear is one of the best things you can do for yourself. And usually you have to face your fears in order to get rid of them. I know when I first became a flight attendant back in the 60s, I had a fear of flying. It was always on my mind for about 15 years of being a professional flight attendant. I would, picture different ways that we could crash or possible scenarios that could happen. And then after 15 years, nothing really bad had ever happened to me in the air. So my logical mind kicked in and said, well, why worry about it anymore? And I freed myself from the fear of flying. It wasn't a debilitating fear of flying. It wasn't a paralyzing fear of flying, but it was in the back of my mind. And then it was gone. And it was much more freeing in order to go to work and function without any little doubts. I used to even go to the cockpit and tell the pilots, don't worry, when you fly with me, you're never going to crash. So you're going to have a really good flight. And they always like to hear that. Not everybody has overcome their fear of flying. But another way I got rid of my fears was when I started to realize that many things are not the way they appear to be. As I traveled around the world and watched the news in different parts of the globe and met people, I began to understand that different people have different perspectives on what's important, what they focus on in the news. And I begin to see more clearly how the media does a very good job of brainwashing us into taking a certain point of view. So I started to question everything. And, critical thinking is a very important thing if you want to get through life without making yourself crazy. And if you want to be able to solve problems, and if you want to see sometimes how things are really working, you need to be a critical thinker. So I used to interview people. If I had someone on my flight who was a CIA agent or ICE or a pilot that used to fly, top secret missions when they were flying military, or even Air Force One, I would pick their brains and find out what I could find out about what they knew. And, I did learn there are a lot of secrets out there. And many of the people that you see in the public are not really who they look like. A lot of them have, believe me, secrets. I also owned a modeling agency in New York City with my husband, who was an international model / TV commercial actor. So I got to meet a lot of celebrities living in New York City. And I was so glad I worked for the airlines, because I did find that the whole world of celebrity and movies and modeling was not as glamorous as you'd think it is at all. No. So that's what I'm trying to get across to you. Nothing is really as it appears to be, but that's in the three-dimensional world. But if you want to solve problems, you want to learn how to go to the fourth and fifth dimensions above it all, where you can get a better view and figure out how you can solve your personal and even collective problems, because there's always a solution, but you need to get above it all so you can see with the proper perspective what might be a solution. And when you're aligned with positive thoughts, you create a positive vibration that protects you, that attracts people into your life that are going to work with you in a harmonious way, and you start to have a much better experience. That's why I like to study metaphysics.